First of all, a quick introduction to myself. My name's Ajey. I'm the CEO of Norigin Media. We're about diagonally that direction with a pink tall stand in this hall for anything that we do with smart TVs, mainly with anything that can be from designing it, developing it, engineering it, consulting it, making sure that people watch it. What this particular panel is about is how do you untangle or navigate a maze that the smart TV is. It's a fragmented market. It's something that we're all trying to understand. Whether it's contracting, how do you get yourselves into the App Store with Samsung, Roku, all of these large TV screens, which is not the easiest thing in the world. And then how do you actually make sure that you thrive on the App Store and have the quality that you need to have? And with me, I have two fantastic people who actually make this happen, longer than any other person in this entire hall, I would say. I have Espen, who will introduce himself. He's from Norway. And I have Ronald, who's locally from Holland. I'll start with you, Espen. Can you introduce yourself, Allente, where you're from, and tell us your biggest large screen TV challenge that you see today?
Oh, great question also. But I can start with the introduction of myself. So, Espen, CTO in Allente. I've been with the company since 2013 in various roles, but for the last 5 years I've been CTO. Allente, one of the biggest pay TV operators in the Nordic region, approximately 800,000-900,000 subs, operating with satellite TV, IPTV multicast, and of course also OTT. And to also cover your question, what are our biggest challenges? And I think you touched upon it in your introduction. Our biggest challenge is actually trying to develop a consistent user experience across the fragmented smart TV space.
We will go deeper into it, but before that, a quick introduction to our local hero, Ronald.
My name is Ronald Auwens. I work for Infosys, and Infosys is pretty large Indian-based IT service and engineering provider in many areas. I work in the entertainment area, responsible for video, UI, and application development. We basically, well, if it has a UI or a user experience, my team builds the software for it in the entertainment industry. With respect to your, do you have another question? Or?
Yeah. As much as Ronald is a part of Infosys, he has a great history with Liberty Global, and he still works with them quite closely between Infosys and Liberty Global. Give us any good, juicy detail.
Yeah. So my Liberty Global colleagues are here, so I cannot say anything.
It needs to be
I
juicy.
need to be careful. But what I can say is we have a long-standing relationship for many, many years. It started with taking over the full IT world of Liberty Global and supporting that and delivering that. Until recently, I think 18 months ago, we have taken over the full technology stack in entertainment and connectivity. Meaning that we manage that stack, we extend it, and we innovate it.
And for those who don't know, Liberty Global has the Horizon platform, which has been innovated since 2 decades. And that can only go bigger and greater with your help, I would imagine.
Yeah, so maybe Infosys, 350,000 people India-based, Liberty Global, huge company, 31 homes passed, 85 million connections, including mobile phone.
While these gentlemen do a lot with streaming across the entire entertainment wings of their businesses, a big part of what they've done is how they're taking this onto smart TVs, specifically, which we're all trying to get out of in terms of a maze. Espen, can you tell us anything and everything about Allente on-seat TVs?
Yeah. So, smart TVs has been very vastly popular in the Nordic market space for the past decade, I would say. And it continues to grow, the usage of it. Also amongst our customer base, even though we look at smart TVs as a complementary product to our primary product, which is the set-top box, of course. And from that perspective, we kind of take a little bit different approach. We try to keep the user experience as consistent as possible between what you see and get on the set-top box, what you see and get on the smart TVs and other devices also, of course. And it's an important part of our product offering, and we also see customers transitioning more away from our set-top box over to the smart TVs, which opens up a different type of problem that we need to find a solution to. Because in the set-top box, we control the entire user experience, we control the ecosystem. But on the smart TVs, we lose that control. There's differentiation between the different smart TV app stores. There's differentiation between the certification processes and what we can offer to the customers. So it's slightly different challenge.
And Ronald, how does Infosys view this on being on smart TVs and CTVs?
Well, just to tap in on what John said. So indeed, with your set-top boxes, you have full control. You own screen zero. You can do whatever you like, and there's just full control, which is different with smart TVs. It's different with mobile. It's different. You're just an app on the platform. Yeah. From an Infosys point of view, in the entertainment team, doing video and video apps, we build apps for almost any platform. So we do mobile, tablet, of course, Apple Android. We do web. We do Fire TV. We do smart TVs and Apple TV and Android TV. So we've got a broad range of devices we deploy on. We do this on behalf of Liberty Global, yeah. And Liberty Global is today mainly active in Europe, 6 countries. The Netherlands, Switzerland, UK, quite big markets. So we built this app for these 6 countries. Per country, we have multiple brands. Just as an example, in Belgium, we have the Telenet brand. We have Base TV, we have Play Sports, so it's the same app, but very much focused on the content that it serves and the customer that it has in that area. So that's a bit what we do within Infosys on behalf of Liberty Global.
And navigating many countries is one thing, navigating many platforms is another thing. How do you navigate all of the technology that needs to combine itself onto one application, yet be available in different countries?
So we used to have 4 or 5 years ago, until 4 or 5 years ago, we had 6 or 7 native development teams developing specifically for one platform. So we had an Apple team, we had an Android team, a web team, and so on and so on. I think 2020, we started to think that it would be more beneficial to use a cross-platform technology and to all combine that and consolidate that into one single code base. And the reason is that you have 7 platforms, 7 native teams. You develop a feature like 7 times. You fix a bug 7 times. And what we saw is that our user experience started to be 7 different user experiences. So every product owner had its own mind, was going in a certain direction. And for other reasons, like back office consolidation and things, we decided to go to a cross-platform technology. We're using Flutter for that purpose. It's a conscious decision after having tested many different technologies. And for those that do not know, Flutter is a combination of a Flutter framework, Skia as a rendering engine, and Dart as a programming language. Skia perfectly integrating with the lower levels of the GPU of any of the platforms. It compiles into native code, so we're actually submitting native code into the app stores, and it works quite well. So basically, we built a single app for all our markets.
I have to ask you, why Flutter, not React?
Well, that's I guess we can debate that for a long time. We used React.js in the past on our set-top boxes as well in certain markets. We were quite happy with that. When we started to test Flutter, we saw that the performance, because of the integration with OpenGL, using Skia, nowadays Impeller, was better. Yeah, so the UI performance, the navigation, the graphical, let's say, sort of animations is better. The other thing that Flutter brings is that it respects the native platform in terms of the UI. So Metal on Android, Cupertino on the Apple devices. So a button on an Apple device looks like an Apple button. Your physics, your scrolling, it's Apple, or it's Android when you do it on an Android device, and that's very powerful, I think, in Flutter.
Both Espen and Ronald make technology sound very simple. It's rather complicated. If you have to tell the audience in a not very technical way as to how complicated it actually is, how would you explain the ecosystem of smart TV and integrations?
How to do that? I would maybe describe developing applications for smart TV ecosystem as trying to publish a book in 20 different languages where the grammar rules are changing for every language every single year. Meaning you will have to release a new book every year, which is maybe the best simplification I can do of how complex it actually is, because if you just isolate and look at Tyson isn't just Tyson, it's Tyson 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. All with a little bit different variations and everything that you need to kind of cater for. And then you do that for Samsung Tyson, and then you do it for LG WebOS, and then you do it for Android TV, and the story just goes on. And every little tweak is kind of a deviation from where you want to be, and causing, at the end of the day, most likely some operational challenges, some bugs that you don't want to handle, and so on and so forth. Just as difficult or simple as it might sound, it's like the player. Because for Allente, we're trying to cater for a player that can handle live TV with ad insert, VOD content in different contexts. And the challenge of doing it on smart TVs is tremendous. I almost have more people working on the player alone than on the applications.
And when you're choosing your product to be on different platforms, whether it's Samsung 22 or 25 or 2017, what are the pros and cons that you look forward in an application on a certain device that helps you choose platforms?
First of all, the most obvious one is, of course, the reach of the platform. How many customers can we reach on this platform? Secondly, it's is it going to be sustained for a longer period of time, or is it going to change a lot over the next years? So in the Nordic, I think Samsung has remarkable market share. In Norway alone, I know they have above 50% market share of the smart TVs, which is substantial. So it makes sense to go in that direction. But so market reach, we don't look at technology. Technology is our problem to solve. If customers want to be on a platform that is complex, we will make that work, basically.
How is the ROI on large screens, Ronald? You're investing heavily on making sure that these applications are available on lots of different screens. How do you handle the stakeholders in a large company like Infosys and their customers? What is your role here?
Yeah, so I think large screens in Infosys / Liberty Global is slightly different, I think, than in the Nordics maybe. Our RDK set-top box deployment is huge, and that's mainly used as the main screen in the home to watch TV. I think if we look at percentages, smart TVs are still very low-used platforms for our apps. Yeah, clearly Apple and Android make up the majority, like 40% roughly, of our market. So it's slightly different, I think, for us. Your question about return on investment and things like that, I think it's very important that although we have our app, our one code base working on every platform, per country, per OpCo is a decision based, as you said, based on the priority of how is the penetration of a platform in a certain country, and it's completely different in Slovak, for instance, than in Belgium, than in the Netherlands. So adding a platform means not only reaching more customers, but it also comes with a TCO, a total cost of ownership. Yeah? And you need to keep in mind, nothing comes for free. Yep. So you deploy an app on a new platform. It comes with marketing, support, with testing. So you only do that when you have a good market share of people that will use it. Next to that, and in the previous session, there was a very good slide on it. As you said again, the amount of SKUs that you have in hardware, OSs, and you multiply all of that, you get hundreds and hundreds of thousands of devices. You need to realize if you deploy on a certain device, and a certain smart TV or any other device, you need to keep the legacy working. You can only start to decommission certain platforms where there's very little users. We still support iOS 12, for instance, or Android 6. We support from a certain Tizen version onwards. Every year there's a new Tizen version. Every year there's a new WebOS version. So adding a platform is all about total cost of ownership and the balance. What does it give you in terms of viewership and reach to the public?
Jon Espen is the CTO of Allente, but he has a huge passion for UI UX and the product itself with your history. How do you navigate between the varied groups of designers, your stakeholders, your business counterparts, working between Sweden and Norway, all of these things which are quite contradictory?
I think I'll give the UX designers in Allente a lot of cred. Because it's basically one of the most difficult positions to hold. UX is something the entire organization has an opinion about. What is working? And it's like everyone is coming, oh, my kids don't like that button is there, it should be over there. Or my mom doesn't like that user flow on the first time installation is like this. And so on and so forth. So everyone has an opinion, and the UX designers or UX team in Allente, they are kind of trying to cater for a lot of these opinions, but still have a overarching approach to it, and a holistic approach on how we design UX and how we deliver great user experiences. My part of that is trying to support them, and then of course I'm also one of these guys that has a lot of opinions about how should a good TV experience be. How easy should it be to find content? How fast should I find something to watch? But we try to keep it in kind of the spirit of Nordic design, so simplistic, easy to use, functional, rather trying to overcomplicate it and make it glossy. And it works pretty well, I would say.
As a consumer, what streaming services do you watch? What is your favorite one and what do you hate about it?
That's a really good question. Right now I'm watching a series in Disney Plus, which I just realized it looks exactly as the same as when it was launched now, is it 5-6 years ago?
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like they have updated it or changed anything. My favorite though is HBO. I think they have done great things with the user experience. The navigation is logical, functional, and I always find something to watch easy and fast. My least favorite, I don't think I have a least favorite. No.
What about you? He's Dutch. He'll be more direct, hopefully.
Good question. So I'm currently watching the last season of The Handmaid's Tale. Very powerful series. Not maybe nice to watch, but I think it's one of the best series. Best series in the world is Band of Brothers, by the way.
Ah, yeah.
Big fan.
Series.
So I watched that on a Dutch app called Videoland. Yeah, I think it's an okay app. Yeah, I think the best app so far, in my view, is Apple Plus. I really like that app. The animations, the smoothness. The worst app, Yeah, I'm Dutch, so I can say it. I think Amazon Prime. It's too small. It's too difficult to navigate. So I do have a subscription. I use it, but that will be maybe an app that can use a bit of Infosys to improve it.
I think at the end of the day, when you see all of these applications on TV, I think a lot of our customers come and tell us, I want something like Netflix. It's become the common norm. It's been a starting point, but it's one of many. The whole idea of smart TV and its navigation is becoming commonplace, which means that watching TV is normal, and there's no such thing as good, bad, or ugly, and some things can only become better and greater over time. If you want anything more about smart TVs, with technology, you can talk to them. They're going to be around for the next 2-3 days around this hall, and if you want to talk to me, you can have a drink too at the Norigin stand behind me. See you around. Thank you very much.